What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I got another build guide for you, coming in nice and strong because Vega is on the horizon. It's coming out. Reviewers have already started doing their unboxing videos. We're getting views of it. We're seeing what it looks like. We're not seeing any individual testing, but we do know it exists. It's real, and people have it in their physical hand. So, we got two builds based around AMD, one based around Threadripper, and Vega kind of combined. So take that with a grain of salt. It's going to be slightly impartial to what you have read and seen, because we don't have any solid testing out yet. So we're just going to dive right into it and start off with the Ryzen 3 base build. This is going to be an entry-level build around the $550 mark. We're going with AMD because one, a little cheaper than Intel, and two, a lot better performance for the price that you're paying, especially with the Ryzen platform that is out. We're starting off with the processor, of course, which is the AMD Ryzen 3 1200. Lowest end from Ryzen, or lowest end processor on the Ryzen from AMD, but it's very good. 4-core, 3.4 gigahertz base boost, and super clockable. Also, in the box, it comes with everything you need to start off, meaning it has a cooler, the Wraith Stealth cooler, which is actually a really good cooler when you consider it is a stock heatsink fan. It's pretty impressive. You need to connect that to something, so we have here the MSI Pro Series AMD B350. Well, you see the name there. It's a good board. It's all black. I was kind of looking for a rather neutral scheme. I didn't want like one of those really ugly PCBs on the motherboard. Wanted to look decent. This thing's got all the connectivity you need. Only one PCIe by 3. But for a budget build, you're probably not going to go SLI or Crossfire. So this is all you need for one good card and plenty of gaming capacity. It does have 4 DDR4 slots, or 4 DIMM slots of DDR4 memory, which is good because Ryzen has proven to perform a lot better with high-speed memory and a lot of it. No USB 3.1 Type-C. Does have 3.1 though, which is nice. Video outs, nothing fancy. It's really just kind of a bare necessities board that will get the job done and get you up and moving. Speaking of memory, here we go is the G-Skill Ripjaws series. It is a 2x8 kit. Pretty decent on the speed. It's 2800 speed. Didn't want to go too expensive. Higher speed you kind of get expensive, and RAM has kind of been on an upward turn on the price right now, so we're kind of working on a tight budget, so this is probably one of the better ends. Went with red because it kind of molds well with black, red, AMD kind of color, so it fits. Doesn't really stand out. Now, speaking of colors, blue. A WD blue to 1 terabyte, because you need to store all your games, and that is what this build is based on. It's built around a gaming-oriented setup. So 1 terabyte is going to start you off with storing plenty of games, quite a lot actually, and well, not much to say about that. It's a hard drive. Now, as you can see here, it's not available, but when I put this list together and started, it was available. But okay, well, still 1050 Ti 4 gig edition. You don't need to go with the Asus, but just anything around the 150 160 mark, it's kind of what you want. This right here will allow pretty good performance on 1080 gaming. Definitely be able to hit frames above the 50 and 60 mark depending on your settings. Medium to high settings, no problem on pretty much all AAA titles. Good little card for the price you're paying for it. Really nice. Now, as I said, we are doing a budget build, so you get a budget case, 50 bucks. It's the Spec 1 by Corsair. It's nothing fancy, nothing to gawk at. It has a side panel. That's nice, so you can at least see what's in your case. You know, it's dark in there, but you can at least see it. See the darkness. Yeah, not much to say. It's a case, painted a black interior, that's nice, so at least it's not like an ugly steel or white color or something weird like that, but I don't know, it's a pretty decent case for the price you're paying. And as we see here, we've got the power supply from EVGA. Went with EVGA because they're cheap, they're reliable, and they just keep making good power supplies. It is a 500 watt, semi-modular, means it's only got a few wires connected directly to capacitors on the inside, and it's 80 plus bronze, so it's a decent rating, decent reliability. And all that together, it's going to be about 560 bucks as of today. I still need to get, of course, your monitors and whatnot, but the actual system, that is a nice little startup, and it's a pretty sweet system. So now let's move over to the big guy, the Threadripper. I'm going to point out this is based around, or built around having two Vega GPUs that aren't out yet. So the wattage is not quite accurate. We know they pull about 300 watts a piece almost, so it's about 600 extra watts, so just shy of 1,000 watts. So I had to manually put them in. So it's about $499 is the MSRP they're saying now. I can't guarantee that's what it's going to be, but with those prices, it puts this build about $1,000, or sorry, about $4,000. Hopefully, we can actually expect that to be the truth. Ideally, that's what we'll get. Now, Threadripper 1950X. We're going with the top of the line. It is a beast of a processor. 16 core, 32 thread. It is incredible. As we've seen from individual testing, it actually is worth it. It is a very, very good multi-threaded CPU, and it just has probably one of the nicest retail packagings ever. Just the facts. That's going to sit on probably the best TR4 based motherboard out there, the Asus ROG Zenith Extreme. Very high end. There's probably nothing on this board left out, meaning you have all the connectivity. You have M.2, you have DIMM.2, a U.2 that fits in a DIMM slot. Very cool. Just everything. It is decked out with all kinds of RGB on the side, on the I/O shield cover. It's just all of it. Everything you can think of. It comes with a 10 gigabit network card, which is awesome if you have an internet provider that can even support that, because, you know, mine doesn't. Cox. Now, keep that bad boy cold. You don't have a ton of options, so one of the better ones, in my opinion, would be the Kraken X52 from NZXT. Now, you can get the X62 or the 52, that doesn't matter. The actual block is the same size, so that bracket they send you in the AMD 1950X will fit on it and will mount up no problem. But 240 rad, not much to say. It's going to keep everything cold, and it works pretty damn good. So that's all you need to know. Plus, it's RGB, make it look nice. Sticking with RGB, we got the G.Skill Trident Z RGB kit. I'm picking this one specifically for the reason that AMD sent out two 2x8 gig kits to all the reviewers with their Threadripper. So we know the 3200 speed Trident Z RGB works. There's no problems with compatibility issues. It works. So I just upped it to the 4x8 gig instead of getting two boxes of 2x8 gig. Just get one box of 4x8 gig. That sounded a lot smoother in my head, but you got the picture. High speed RAM, a lot of it, and it's can be any color you want, so it looks nice. It's a bonus. At this price range, $4,000, there's no reason you should not have some nice high-speed M.2 storage. So we've got the Samsung 960 EVO. It's 500 gigs of M.2. It's one of the higher ends from Samsung. Pretty fast read and writes. The sequential reads are, what are they? Read is 3200 megabits per second and 1800 write, which is nice. It's fast and it's sleek looking. It's all black, so it won't stand out too bad for you. But obviously that's not enough to store all the games or footage that you're editing or whatever you're using the system for. So we've got 6 terabytes of WD black. Now it is a performance grade, it is fast, it is extremely reliable. This is one of their top end, so you don't have any problems. In the build list there are 2 of them, so you do have 12 total terabytes of storage if you want them separate, or if you want to set them up in a RAID of some sort. You can have, 6 terabytes of reoccurring storage, however you want to set that up, but maximum of 12.5 terabytes of storage, which is more than enough. So you need to store it all in something. So we went with the Be Quiet Dark Pace Pro 900, the all black. I just think it looks a little nicer. They also have an orange and a silver, but I like black. Very big case, and has a nice big tempered glass side panel window, so you can see everything inside with all your RGB lit up. It's gonna look really cool. It is a big case though. It's hefty. It can also be changed. It can orient itself on the left side or on the right side. So depending on how you have a desk set up, you can have it look at you whichever side you want your computer to sit on. Comes with some fans. It's nice. Got dust filter. Very big case. It's just, there's nothing bad you can say about it. It's a great case all around. That's why Hardware Canucks gave it, the case of the year back in what, 2015 or 2016? I can't remember. But it's just a great case through and through, which is good because you're going to keep up with great products, which is here, Corsair HXI series. It's 1200 watt. And I picked it for two reasons. One, if you're building this exactly how this is working, you're looking almost at 1,000 watts of power without overclocking. Suspected about 300 watts a piece for each of the graphics cards. So almost 400 watts with what was on the list. So it's almost that's 1,000 watts. So you're gonna want something strong, something with a lot of power and with a little overhead room if you want to overclock it. So 1200 watt. It's fully modular. It is 80 plus platinum, and it's got enough pins to power your Threadripper processor, because it actually requires 2 8-pins, or is it 2 6? I think it's 2 8-pins. Correct me later if I'm wrong. But it's nice, fully modular, so you can cut down on cable clutter. It's a really nice, very, very nice power supply. Now, before we sign off, I am aware that this computer cannot be built currently because the AMD Vega is not out. So I added in one more part as a side note. My pick of a 1080 Ti, which is the best performing graphics card out currently. It is the For the Win 3 by EVGA. And I picked it because, one, I like the way the shroud looks, and two, it is an incredibly high-end performing card. It keeps the graphics card very cold, very cool, and it is cranking out the frames. If you are using this for gaming only, this is the card to have, in my opinion. It is great, looks good, and it is fast. It keeps it cool, keeps it quiet. Best card on the market. Not endorsing it, just saying. But all I put together, based off the Vega, you're looking about $4 grand, and almost the same for the 1080. Because for right now, if you can find a 1080 Ti for under $700, well, you're doing pretty damn good in my book. But that is it for now. That is the build. You got yourself an entry-level gaming build off the AMD platform and a high-end editing, gaming, workstation, all-around build, completely built around the AMD platform, thanks to AMD RX Vega. Hopefully it holds up to its hype. But that is it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.